Hello and welcome back to Thirsty Thursday. Today we're going to talk about a few things on the interwebs that have caught our attention on the marketing front. And maybe we kick things off, Will, with a follow-up on something we were talking about last week, which was the FreeBritney movement.
Yes. So if you've been watching Thirsty Thursday, you might have heard us talk about FreeBritney, the movement, a few times. So last week, actually, after we spoke, Susan, I think she was back in court and there was some ruling against her dad's conservatorship. Not sure to what degree here, so I could be sharing some fake news. But what isn't fake news is that an airline, I think it's called Frontier Airlines, thought they would capitalize on this bit of news, this movement, this pop cultural movement, hashtag FreeBritney. And they are offering, I think it's for the first 100 people named Britney, they are going to get a free flight somewhere, and therefore they will be freeing various Britneys. Well, this is an example, Susan, I think, of when newsjacking doesn't go the way you want, because they've got widespread criticism that this is tacky and this isn't what they should be doing. What do you think?
It's hilarious. Yeah, that is kind of a good template for how not to do it. It was tactless, right? And I mean, there was no real sensitivity to any of it. Like, it was obviously just thrown together and a little bit disrespectful to all concerned. So yeah, sometimes it can go awfully wrong. And I don't know if they've subsequently apologized in any sort of way, but it did, spread like wildfire, and the judgment came down harsh on Frontier Airlines.
Yes, nice try. Next, we were going to talk about a brand that we've really enjoyed talking about this year, Burger King, and they continue to what would you say, evolve as an edgier brand. So why don't you tell us what you had read about Burger King? And I think it's Burger King India we're talking about, is it?
Right, yeah. One of the cool things about Burger King, I think, is that they're starting to take their slightly cheeky culture and, use it in different markets, and totally sort of immersing themselves in that market, I think, is what's important. And on Valentine's Day, this past week, they had an ad that they released in India for Burger King India, in which they used Sima Thaparia. She's the woman from that Netflix show, the arranged marriage. She's the matchmaker from the show.
Yeah, I watched actually some of that. Yeah,
she's quite funny, and like, she is very like direct and tells it like it is and stuff. So they've used that aspect of her personality and her talking about chemistry in a relationship, and it's superimposed on like her love of the burger. So you should watch that ad if you haven't seen it. But I thought it was a clever way to take their brand personality, translate it to more and more markets, and they're certainly having a good run of it.
They've been having fun. They've been doing lots of their ads have been funny, legitimately funny, a little edgy when they feel it's appropriate to be. So I know we've been watching them this year, and Burger King Europe, France, UK, they've been doing lots of cool stuff. So I guess it's just continuing with now Burger King India. Now, we don't want to leave out another fast food giant because, I guess Burger King, they did do a rebrand, and obviously McDonald's was jealous that we've been talking about Burger King so much. McDonald's just released a full line of new packaging for all of their food items on their menu.
They did, yes. I think the look is quite interesting. It's graphic based, so it's very visual, and it's whimsical. I liked it. I liked the way they've approached it for their different lines. And I thought particularly interesting was the fact that all of their packaging in the past heavily relied on the golden arches, like the McDonald's, and now they've clearly evolved to that place where their brand vocabulary is no longer just the arches. So in this new look, there's like waves for like the fish meals, and there's like cheese dripping down the packaging for the cheeseburger, and I'm into it. And I love the new burger wars or the new cola wars.
I liked how McDonald's their French fry, iconic red box French fry packaging seem to stay the same, but then when I saw on the inside, they actually have little cartoon fries drawn on the inside of the packaging as well. So even that's changed. But no, I agree with you. I think it looks really fun and whimsical. There's still lots of white space on the design, but these fun, not cartoonish type graphics that have a retro vibe. They kind of feel like a day at the seashore kind of drawings. Yeah, no, I think that's quite cool. Yeah, so good for McDonald's. Then, okay, so on the more serious side of things, we wanted to talk about what we've been calling cancel culture. Susan brought up to me yesterday that that people are starting to coin cancel culture now as consequence culture, right? So when you do something where we would say this person needs to be canceled, instead it's like, these are the consequences you're going to live with. An example is that woman in Central Park who pretended a Black man who was walking or bird watching was attacking her and then called the cops. She just had her trial or something. And I think this is what I heard people talking about, saying, she is going to have to live with these consequences. Her video and name was everywhere. And even though I don't think what's happening to her is as awful as I think some people should regarding the law here, there's consequences that she's going to have to live with.
Yeah, no, I think I like the idea of consequence culture over cancel culture. Again, there's many nuances and layers to the whole thing. Like, where's the line? Who decides? All of that is a part of it. But in spirit, I like the idea that people will have consequences to their action. They can correct it, and if there's true intention to get better, then
I do think it is a better term than just you're canceled, go away forever. It is kind of like, go away for a bit, whatever penance you need to do, whatever thinking, whatever therapy, whatever work on yourself you need to do. But I like it.
Don't think about what you've done.
Yeah, I like it. This not indefinite cancel. I think that term was being overused, and especially online in a bullying even type of way. I do like this idea of consequences. Yeah, sorry. There's going to be some consequences, so
I agree. Yeah. I agree. So yeah, those are the sort of key things that caught our eyes on the headline front for marketing. Of course, the heritage of this show is that we started this as an after show for the 4 a.m. report, and we used to start with the recap of our episode, but now we put it on the end. And this week's episode is really focused on businesses that are building teams. This does tend to be a time of year when teams are either growing or getting more focused on larger projects. And the episode is with 2 guests. It's got Laurel Carr and Meredith Malak, and they're both talking about the Kolbe system as a way of matching your teams, getting better performance, hiring. Like one is a practitioner, a coach of the system, and one is a user of the system. So that's a cool episode that you should check out.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks for joining me. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everybody.